Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be recommending 5 different photography books which you can purchase today on Amazon. Now in the past when I've done book recommendation videos, some people have commented that a lot of the books I was recommending have gone out of print and therefore have become really expensive on the secondhand marketplace. So I really wanted to do something that was a bit more realistic in terms of cost and also availability. Now I'll put links to all of these books in the description below and I'll put our Amazon affiliate links there too. Now we're big fans of photo books because we can make a connection between the photographer and their work through the pages of a book. You don't get the same connection looking at a slideshow on the internet, for example, or somebody talking about a photographer on YouTube. How it works with us is we'll come across a new photographer or a photographer that we know that's got a new body of work and we'll just go and buy the book. And over the years we've built up quite a bit of a collection. We have around about 300 books currently. We're not collectors though. We don't go for special editions or limited editions or first editions even. We have some retrospectives which I'll cover in a little while. We have very few curated books here where the photographer has died and somebody has come in, looked at all the negatives, looked at all the slides and decided to curate a book and put it out. Things like Gary Winogrand's Colour book, Vivian Meyer's book. Now I totally understand that without these books we would never see this photographer's work. But me personally, I always look at those books and think, what would the photographer have chosen to go in there? Would they have really chosen that picture? Raymond Depardon's Glasgow, it's been probably my most recommended book ever. Up until a year ago when I got the next book I'm going to be talking about, this was probably my favourite street photography book. I think this is an absolute masterclass in how you photograph a boring place. It's a fantastic book. The quality of the printing is great, and Depardon's vision, the way he uses wide angle lenses, the way that he's kind of brought a street photographer's mentality into a documentary project is amazing. I always say to anybody, if you're looking for your first photo book, particularly on street photography, if you're into trying to find out what makes a good street photograph, you can't go far wrong with this book. It's probably been my most favorite book on street photography for the last sort of 4 or 5 years. But there is a new kid in town. And this is the new kid. This is Morocco by Henri. Now, again, if you follow the channel for any length of time, you'll know that I'm a huge Henri fan. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Gruyaert for me is the best colour photographer that's ever lived. Now, I think I've got most of Gruyaert's books. In fact, I've just ordered another one. I've just ordered a French copy of Made in Belgium. And again, it doesn't bother me that it's in French because I don't read all the bump anyway. Now, this is the rehashed version of Morocco. Morocco is a very famous book by Henri. It's kind of the book that almost, I guess, made him really famous within photography circles. You can't get Morocco easily these days and it's a lot of money. So when they brought this one out last year, of course I got it immediately and it's just phenomenal. What I like about Gruyaert's work is it breaks all the conventions of traditional colour photography. It's that sense of composition, it's that sense of space, the sense of form, but also the sense of colour, which makes Gruyaert so special as far as I'm concerned. But what's really nice about this particular version is he's also included some variations on some of the famous pictures in the old book, and also there's a lot of newer work in here as well which I hadn't seen before. If you're a street photographer or if you're a travel photographer and you want to get inspired, this is the book to go for. It really is a fantastic book. If somebody was to say to me, in an ideal world, how would you like your photographs to look? I would say Josef Koudelka's Exiles. For me, this book is, I don't know, how do I describe it? When I first saw this book, and excuse me while I've got very sticky hands and a very glossy cover on this one, so you can probably hear my hands squeaking about a little bit. This book for me redefined everything that I ever thought I knew about photography. The use of movement, of grain, of contrast, of shadow, his sense of composition, his sense of timing, his sense of drama, his sense of art. But this guy is an absolutely phenomenal photographer. This for me is a book that every single photographer should have in their collection. Before anybody asks, that's a Great Dane on the front. I know we've got a Doberman that looks a lot like this one, but this is actually a Great Dane. It's a lot bigger than ours. And I'm still trying to get this photograph with our dog, but you know, I haven't got there yet. We'll keep trying. Now, when it comes to books that are important to me, as in terms of sentimental value, this is probably the book that I would rescue if my house was burning down. This is my rather beat up copy of Don McCullin's In England. When I was a student, when I first started photography, McCullin was a huge influence, an enormous influence. The pictures in this book, particularly from the northeast of England, were the ones that I really hung on to as a photographer. They were the ones that I really felt something towards. I shipped this all the way over to France when I was working with Don, and I got him to sign it, and he wrote me a really nice personal message in the front of the book. So this book has a lot of sentimental value for me, both as a young photographer and because obviously one of my idols I ended up working with. If you look through the pages of this book, you'll see a photographer on the street who has an eye that's completely different to a lot of photographers. There are street portraits in here which will blow your mind. There are street scenes in here which are just incredible. The stuff from the northeast of England is just absolutely phenomenal. Don, he's still the man at the moment. Now, when we did a similar video a couple of years ago and I was talking about Harry Gruyaert's work, somebody in the comments asked me about Alex Webb. I've got, I think, nearly all of his books. This is the only Alex Webb book you actually need to get. This is The Suffering of Light. I saw this exhibition in 2016 in Brussels, in Belgium. It was by far the best photographic exhibition that I think I've ever seen. It just completely blew my mind when I actually saw it. Alex's composition, his timing, the way he puts photographs together, the structure in them, the lighting, world class. And this book absolutely demonstrates his skill. But you don't need any other book other than this one. Okay, there's nothing that he's done outside of this book which is better than what's actually in this book. Henri Cartier-Bresson's The Decisive Moment, probably one of the most famous books ever printed. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I kind of grew up on the pictures in this book photographically. Between McCullin and Cartier-Bresson, that kind of started my photographic career, as it were. Decisive Moment is an absolutely iconic book. I don't know what everybody's saying now. They're looking at this video and saying, but Jeff, that's ridiculously priced. It's so expensive. And it is. And I never paid anything like what these are going for now. But the reason why I'm showing you in this video is that the Cartier-Bresson Foundation have released a smaller, more compact version of the Decisive Moment, and it's going for around about £40. 40 quid for a reprint of an iconic book is an absolute bargain. It doesn't matter if you're into Cartier-Bresson or not, and I'm into Cartier-Bresson. I've got probably 25 of his books here, but this is the one that actually started it all off. And for me, if you're going to get one Cartier-Bresson book, just buy the Decisive Moment and just buy the compact version. Like I said before, we're not really into limited editions and expensive editions. If we can get a compact version that's got the same photographs in as the large version, I would get that in a heartbeat. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, we'd love to see you subscribe to the channel. Subscribing helps us no end, particularly when it comes to making videos like this. And if we've missed any books out, if there's any books that you think should be in this list, please let me know in the comments below. I'm sure people will be fascinated to see what other people are recommending. I know I will be. And if you would like to see more videos like this, then please, again, let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you again on the next video. Take care.